Good morning, friends. Welcome to the 12th Science Physics. I don't know exactly how many syllabus complete, so I will start with the first chapter, important topics. First one is Coulomb's law is very important. Coulomb's law is a very small body. Linear dimension of this body are very small as compared to distance between these two. Suppose two charges are Q1 and Q2. Point charge, distance between these two are R. The 2 point charge Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance R in vacuum. Magnitude of the force F, vector F, between them is like this. F is equal to K mod of Q1 Q2 divided by R square. This is from Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law gives the magnitude of force. Magnitude of force is directly proportional to magnitude of Q1 Q2 and inversely proportional to square of the distance. So F proportional to magnitude of Q1 Q2 by R square equal to K. K is the Coulomb constant. Magnitude of K is 9 into 10 raised to 9 unit. Suppose F in Newton, R in meter, charge in Coulomb, then K. Unit of K is Newton meter square divided by Coulomb square. Value 9 into 10 raised to 9. If Q1 Q2 is equal to 1 Coulomb, R is equal to 1 meter. So two charge 1 Coulomb separate from 1 meter. First between them is F is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton in SI unit. The dimension of K is Newton, first dimension, M1, L1, T minus 2. Meter square means L2, Coulomb square, T2, A2. So M1, L3, T minus 4, A minus 2, dimension of K. In some equation there is required epsilon naught. So K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi K. So epsilon naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 raised to minus 12 Coulomb square divided by Newton into meter square. Epsilon naught is called permittivity of free space. If there is some medium, then only epsilon, permittivity of that medium. Epsilon 0 is called permittivity of free space. Some equation epsilon naught is required, then F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R square. This is the Coulomb's law in a scalar form. This equation only gives the magnitudes, but the force is vector. So what is the direction of force? That is important. It's depend of sign of the charge. Suppose here Q1 charge, Q2, origin, position vector of Q1 is R1, position vector of Q2 is R2. Displacement from Q1 Q2 is vector R21 is equal to R2 minus R1. If you start from here, then R12 is equal to vector R1 minus R2. The magnitude both are same, but direction is opposite. So vector R21 is equal to minus vector R12. Now we need only the direction. So unit vector is required. So how get the unit vector? So vector R21 is equal to unit vector R21 is equal to vector R21 divided by its magnitude R21. So this direction is used here. Then you give the force in the vector form. F21 is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R21 square into vector R, unit vector R21. Vector F12 is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square to unit vector R21 is equal to minus F21. F12 we denote force on Q1 due to Q2. This is force on Q2 due to Q1. Here. This is force on Q1 due to Q2. This is force on Q2 due to Q1. How can you say this force direction is this only? No. It is depend on sign of Q1, Q2. Suppose Q1, Q2 greater than 0. Both are positive. Yeah, both are negative. Both repel force is this direction. If Q1, Q2 less than 0, both charges are attract, one positive, one negative. In this case, force is like this, here like this. If Q1, Q2 is less than 0, one negative sign is there. That's why direction of these two are inverse. So in vector form, we present this F21 or F12. This is force on Q1 due to Q2. This is on Q2 due to Q1. Direction of this is this one if Q1 Q2 greater than 0. If Q1 Q2 less than 0, here minus sign. So direction of these two are inverse. Here you can see that. So that is Coulomb's law in scalar form and vector form. Okay, goodbye.